Let's go back to the letters. All right, Pushover. Hey, Bill, I need some standing up for myself. I need some help standing up for myself. I lived with my mom as a kid, and she used to tell me how bad of a father my dad was, and I would say I never wanted to be like my dad. As I got older, I became everyone's doormat. All they would have to say was, "You're just like your father," and I would do whatever they told me to do. It wasn't just my mom and my sister. A lot of my friends pushed me aside, too. I've since moved out. I'm 23 now, but people still walk all over me, and I'm overly nice to everyone. How do I stop being everyone's doormat? Jesus, dude. You're describing me when I was 23. Everybody liked me. I was nice. If I met you for 2 minutes and you asked me to help you move and to use my truck, I'd let you. You know? And then when you went to pay me, I'd be like, no, I'm okay. You just got to start doing it. And this is the thing. It's a learning curve. All right? Where it's like, you can't just be like, I'm going to start sticking up for myself. And then the next time you're in a moment where you're supposed to stick up for yourself and you don't, you can't consider that a failure because you'll at least be conscious. You got to go through that torturous period where you're now watching yourself getting walked all over. And you're going, well, here's that situation again. And here I am not sticking up for myself, which will cause you in the short run to be even more down on yourself. Because before, when it was happening, you were so busy trying to get the other person to like you, you weren't focusing on what a bitch you were being. Now you're actually going to watch it. All right? But know that that's part of the road to success. Anytime you're trying to break a bad habit, you're trying to quit drinking, or you're trying to stop eating late night, and here you are eating again, you're beating yourself up as you're fucking doing it. That's the first steps. Because before you didn't. You'd just be shotgunning beers, right? Eating ice cream and not even questioning it. So with this shit, what can really help you out is if you write it down. Write down, like, listen, I'm tired of people telling me that I'm just like my dad. And, you could start with that. Don't tolerate that anymore. Just say to your mother, I want you to stop saying that to me. Because all you've done is tell me how bad of a father my dad is. And so whenever you tell me that, that's like you're saying that I'm a piece of shit. All right? I'm 23 now. It's time for me to become my own man. When you tell me that, it hurts me as a person. It hurts my development. All right? Now, how can your mother say no to that? Easily. She could be a fucking pain in the ass, but I don't know. But just start writing down. I don't know. It's like starting out comedy. You don't fucking go up on stage, try to do an hour and kill. You just try to hang in there for 5 minutes. So just take baby steps. And my biggest thing, the reason why I avoided confrontation is because the only way confrontation when I grew up was screaming, fuck you, and getting into a fist fight. So, when I would be down at whatever, bringing my truck in to get it fixed, and I felt like I was getting fucked over, I would be in my head literally going like, I don't want to fight this guy, Even if I win, I'm going to have grease all over my face. If he gets a couple of shots in, it's probably going to grab a wrench. Like, I'm literally thinking that when all I'm doing is getting a tune-up, and I feel like, I remember one time the guy put a new engine in my truck. I remember it just died. The thing died, and I wanted to make it as a comic, and the last thing I needed was a car payment. So it's like I would either go out. Back then, you could get a piece of shit for $11,000. I'd either be $11,000 in debt, or get a new engine put in was like $1,200-$1,500. So I was like, yeah, why don't we knock a zero off of that? So that's what I did, and I paid the guy, and the fucking cunt charged me for the antifreeze that he put in the engine. He just was charging me for everything. I learned a lot. Never trust a mechanic that has a manicure, and that's not a joke. He had cologne. His fucking nails were like pimp level shiny. So, but I didn't say anything to him because I'm like, oh, this guy's like, he's like 60. I'm not going to punch a 60-year-old guy in the and I would be thinking this shit, but I wasn't even conscious because it just been in my head since I could remember. So it's playing on a loop. And a lot of shit, if you finally say it out loud or you write it down, you realize how wrong it is or how absurd it is. And it can kind of kickstart you to start going down the right road. So that's what I would do. And you have to be very forgiving of yourself. Like, you know what's funny is you're a total pushover probably until it comes to looking at yourself. Then you're probably like a fucking drill sergeant and you're always beating yourself up. So I would say, try to find the humor in breaking a bad habit or trying to change yourself. And, you work at it every day. It's like playing an instrument. If you play once every 3 months, you're never going to get better. But if you fucking play an hour every day, all of a sudden, right, you start shredding, and here come the girls, and they're jumping on your dick, right? And you start sticking up for yourself. You start, the women, they're attracted to that. I'm not talking about being a dick, but women are attracted to fucking, like, guys who, they don't want to marry some pussy, right? All of them want you to go out there and fucking grab it by the throat and drag it home. And throw it in the pot so they can fucking cook it up, metaphorically speaking. Last thing I ever want to do is suggest that a woman would want to go into a kitchen and actually be fucking nice for once and make that guy a goddamn sandwich. Sorry. You know what I'm saying. All right? I hope that helped you out. Did I get to everything here? Oh, cop that shot dog. Bill, what's your take on the Hawthorne police officer firing off one into a dog? Fucking bullshit, right? Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not pro shooting dogs, but I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. Look, if you're a cop and you're walking in there and some giant dog comes at you with his teeth showing and is going to fucking maul your face off, I mean, what are you supposed to do? But if that shit that, I mean, I've seen YouTube videos where, like, the dog isn't doing, it's just barking, like, row, 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 because you're in the house, but it's not charging, it's not doing anything, and they have, it's standard procedure, eliminate the threat, and they just fucking shoot the dog. There's a brutal one on YouTube where they went into the wrong fucking house, and they got the guy on the floor, and then they shoot his dog, and they realize they're in the wrong house, and they killed both his dogs. It's brutal. It's brutal. But in defense of the cops, those are the ones that people put up on YouTube. I imagine that they could then show you 1,000 of cops going in, getting attacked by once great dogs that their piece of shit scumbag owner turned into a maniac. So maybe there's some sort of sweeping thing that if the dog weighs more than fucking, if you feel threatened by the dog, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. You're a cop. You're going in to arrest somebody. You're trying to deal with, is this person going to pull a weapon out and blow my fucking brains out? I'm never going to see my kid again. And meanwhile, you got this dog. You know what I mean? It's like you can only look at one thing at one time. So, and your life is in fucking danger. I think a lot of people, including animal lovers, we're thrusted. I think it's very easy to not be a cop and just sit there and be, dude, you know what I would have done? The same way you do, like, when you trash the quarterback of your team. You know what I would have done with my non-athletic ass? This is what I would have done. I would have leapt over the fucking defensive line, and then called an option or whatever the fuck you would have done. So, yeah, I mean, just hearing that story, absolutely devastating. Because I know if the cops ever came in my house, my dog would be flipping out and trying to attack them. And I would be like, let me just put her in the other room. But if whatever were coming in there and I was considered a threat, they have to take me down, and then my dog would come at them, and then they would fucking shoot my dog. And it would suck. So I wish there was some way that they wouldn't have to do that. But as much as people want 100% blame cops there, the real culprit that set that whole thing off are fucking assholes who turn their dogs into maniacs. And maybe even someone like myself who doesn't, I don't know how to have my dog under control, so I just put her in the back room because some fucking asshole fucked her up. Jesus Christ, I got work to do. So there you go. That is the, I didn't even get to that fucking, you see that reporter that died? Let me get to, where the hell is that story here? This writer for Rolling Stone, which I have a subscription to, one of the magazines, few magazines that I actually read every episode, every installment. Michael Hastings. He had a horrible death. He fucking was going down, I believe it was Highland, just south of Melrose. His Mercedes was traveling at ridiculous speeds. He hit a fucking tree, and the whole thing exploded, bursted into flames, and they had to identify him by his dental records. And allegedly, this guy knew... I guess he wrote some fucking article in Rolling Stone where he was over in Afghanistan talking to some higher-ups in the military, and they were saying some shit that they thought was off the record, and he put it all in the article. And there's people, conspiracy theorists, trying to say that his car was cyber-attacked. Now, I'm not even going to get into that, but, dude, how fucked up is the world getting if, like, that's actually something that somebody could do? I'm not saying whether it was done by this guy or not. I have no fucking idea. He might have been hammered. I have no idea. I have no fucking clue. I don't know anything about it. But I'm just saying that the fact that somebody could hack into your computer and cause your car to speed up, and there's nothing you can't shut the car off.